Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Of all the animals from the wild, sharks should never be underestimated. If by any chance you happen to have any doubts, here's a list of ambush attacks, perilous strikes, and spine-tingling encounters that prove that these formidable predators are never to be messed with. Even before the diver had a chance to enter the water, the shark decided to end, or rather, ruin his expedition. One moment, she was way far away from the diver's enclosure, and the next, boom! There she was, emerging from inside of the broken cage. The diver got lucky the shark gave up after only one strike, and he made it out safely. These tourists' trip to Panama turned out to be an epic adventure when they entered the frantic feeding frenzy of tuna.
Went down underneath to get into the bait ball. He's going to try to get.
Although bluefin tuna frenzies are quite common in Irish waters, this was one of the very few times when the tuna fish were spotted off the American coast.
This is unbelievable. Oh my God! Good luck, buddy.
This guy decided to have a swim with the basking sharks breaching near the boat. Soon after the guy dived into the water, he regretted his decision.
That was a bad idea! Get on the boat!
Well, he should have. I mean, who dares to jump in water filled with sharks? Who, in my opinion, were not even basking sharks.
That was a bad idea! Get on the boat! Ryder!
Lucky or not, it's for you guys to decide. But in my opinion, this is the worst that could happen to anybody. I mean, the couple literally dropped over a shark. How they survived is still a mystery, but let me assure you, they eventually did. There's always a bigger fish in the water, and this proverb came true when the fisherman's tuna was eaten by a massive shark. It emerged out of nowhere, grabbed the meal, and with a huge splash disappeared in the ocean. Turning an ordinary day into an insane adventure is what sharks are good at.
Oh my God, is this really happening?
The fishermen were trying to reel in the shark when she made a big jump out of the ocean. And you already know what happened next. So this is what we call a near miss. Raging waves or an ambushing predator. This guy was trapped among both. Well, I must say, he was lucky to get out of there alive. This horrifying clip shows a female diver encountering a massive shark. Although the diver skillfully avoids the strike, a slight mistake could have turned things bad for her. Here's another one that came face to face with the white-tipped shark. Unknown of the predator ambushing in the water, this guy dived into the water. Watch how he barely avoids the lurking danger.
That was clean.
It's usually the spear fishermen who have the most intense encounters with sharks. This one accidentally provoked the shark pod, and well, there's no need to explain what happened next. This shark knew it was impossible to catch the fisherman on a boat, so she devised a cunning plan. Yep, the plan was to shred the rubber vessel of the boat. According to the researchers, the shark was just exploring. However, had it been a much smaller boat, this exploration could have easily turned into an ambush offense. How did the diver remain so composed throughout the entire encounter is something I can never understand. Okay, so this is what I would describe as truly nightmarish. The guy was so captivated by the shark hunting the turtle that he overlooked the possibility of her coming for him.
Oh, this is intense. They're underneath me. Look, the target.
And that's when things spiraled out of his control, and the shark made him drop down into the water.
Oh, what?
Although he returned safely, it sure was a heck of an experience for him. This is what happens when a squid interacts with a submarine. It continued to strike several times before actually leaving. I must say, these guys were lucky to return safely. Otherwise, the sharp teeth hidden in the tentacle suckers would have been enough to damage the submarine. Now, I know it's their raw nature, but when it comes to hunting, sharks become the real monsters of the sea.
He's a monster, dude.
This group of tourists were stunned when they spotted a huge shark feeding on a seal off the coast of San Diego. Either the shark was sleeping, or, yeah. I mean, there's no other way the shark would miss such an easy prey. The whale wanted to remind the people who rule the water here. And she successfully did. This shark surprised the fishermen when she landed on the boat. She probably jumped to grab the bait when she jumped way too high and ended up in the middle of the boat's bow. Fortunately, the fishermen helped the stranded shark and sent her back into the ocean. This girl overlooked the consequences of coming face to face with a shark and instantly paid the price. Here's a brief moment explaining how powerful these sharks can be. It only took a minor bump, and she dropped the poor man into the ocean. It was after a few desperate moments of struggle that the guy made it back onto the kayak. Here's another feisty shark that dropped the guy straight into the ocean. Scared of the predator, the guy didn't even try to get back on the kayak. He went straight for the boat and saved himself. Surfing among sharks is never a good idea, and this guy proves it.
He's gonna swim right into it.
Oh my god.
Luckily, the shark was small, because that huge wave made things quite easy for the predator.
Oh, he's gonna swim right into it.
Oh my god.
Being chased by a huge hammerhead shark, the tarpon made desperate jumps to avoid becoming her meal. It was after a few failed attempts, the distressed tarpon briefly sought refuge on fisherman's boat.
The tarpon jumped on.
Oh, shit. Holy shit.
And this little trick turned out to be her savior. Even the small ones won't waste an opportunity to come face to face. Watch how this one kept coming for the guy. Not always for the people, but these hunters sometimes, actually most of the time, only comes for the boat's engines.
You want to pet him, there's your chance. I know.
Here's a great white shark that came 3 times to bite the engine. Finally, the boat's captain protected the boat and scared off the shark.
No way. Put it in my belly. Put it in my belly.
I came back towards the boat to bite the motors, and our captain...
This guy was lucky that the shark didn't want to retaliate. Otherwise, things would have gone a lot more worse for him. I mean, the way she came for the fisherman, one more strike would have ended his life. This fisherman caught a yellowfin tuna in the Floridian waters. Although it was an easy catch, hauling it from the group of ravenous sharks was what became the fisherman's real ordeal. After surviving several close calls with the frantic hunters, the man made it out safely. Now, I know orcas rarely confront humans, but that doesn't make them completely harmless. At least I wouldn't dare go close to this killer whale. Actually, the guy took the shark's meal and had to pay the price. Luckily, all her strikes failed and the diver came out safely. An unfortunate incident happened during the U.S. Navy training when a pod of sharks was spotted near the swimmers. Considering the safety of the people, the rescue guards immediately dealt with the impending predators, and everyone was saved in the end. Not always the people, but sometimes a boat can be enough to frustrate a shark. Watch how this one kept battering the boat's engine until she completely damaged it. Luckily, the people were able to reach the shore on time. Looks like great whites are not really fans of humans.
Turning. It's going this way. It's right here.
I mean, they spot one in the water and immediately plan a charge. This one scared the tourists with the never-ending strikes, until at last she gave up and went back into the ocean.
Whoa! Holy crap!
Only thing that saved the fishermen from ending up in the jaws of the shark was this metal grate.
Look right up! Open his mouth!
Being an expert doesn't mean that you can go face-to-face with sharks. At least not for me, though. I mean, they can still take you down, can't they? Allow me to explain the reason behind the rush. These surfers actually spotted a great white shark in the water, and the sighting instantly turned their surfing into a race of survival.
What is that?
This 4.2-meter shark was spotted in Pocasset River. Now, I know this was not an encounter, but the massive shark beaching herself was worth mentioning. Okay, so that jump was solely to grab the fish, but did give the diver the shock of his life. Here's another one from the incredible fights of a shark versus boat engines. This time it was a jet ski that came in the way and got a quick bite of realization of how easily sharks can turn an adventure into a horrifying experience. Okay, so let me clear one thing. The surfer was rescued in the end. The heart-pounding incident happened off the coast of California, where a kayaker spotted a shark in the water. With just one strike, she did this to the kayak. Now, it may look like the shark got the man, but the guy was actually rescued. A drone captured a dramatic scene as around 70 tiger sharks feasted on a dead whale in Australia's Shark Bay. Although swimmers were cautioned to stay away from the water, these fortunate tourists got the chance to witness the once-in-a-lifetime moment. This shark clearly did not come to hunt, but spotting her just inches away was what frightened the diver. I don't know who manufactures these metal cages, but they are clearly not serving their intended purpose. I mean, aren't they supposed to protect the divers? Watch how easily the shark fits her wild jaws inside the cage. Fortunately, that's all, and the shark leaves without causing any harm. This whale shark decided to change the narrative of her being docile and came for the snorkelers. It surprised them and slightly nibbled one of them, but luckily that was all, and it left without causing any significant harm. And here she comes again. Watch how she gives the girl the scare of her life. This man took the piggyback ride to a whole nother level. He jumped down on one of the whale sharks and, well, that was one smooth ride. At first, ignoring him as nobody, the shark then took a surprising turn. Although she didn't do anything, but that one turn was enough to scare the diver. The beach day turned into chaos when a shark decided to surprise the divers. She was probably chasing a prey when she got too close to the shore. Whatever may be the reason, it was sure a terrifying experience for the beachgoers.
Where did it go? Where did it go? There's somebody still out there.
The fishermen expected it to just be a one-bite thing, but the shark had other plans.
Oh, shit! What happened? Holy!
It refused to let go of the boat's engine. Now, I don't know how, but the guys did manage to return safely.
Seriously, man, he's bit the prop. What a fucking crazy bastard!
Circling around the diver, the shark made sure the diver knew in the end who he messed with. It happened off the coast of Egypt when the diver came too close to the white-tipped shark and learned a lesson.